Hey, what's up, you wonderful people, and welcome to my channel. Wondrous Lantern here, back with another video. As you can tell from the video's title, I would like to say that I'm going to try and delve more into this type of content from now on. Not only do I enjoy watching these videos that analyze and critique subject matter that I'm passionate about, but because I'm passionate about said subject matter, I thought I'd go ahead and throw my hat into the ring of analysis videos. If you're not into this type of content, I'll still try to throw other types of videos here and there, not only to keep my creative juices flowing, but to break the repetitive rhythm which plagues me quite frequently when I try to upload videos, such as the life of a YouTuber. I'll try to organize this channel into various playlists for those who might want to find a video type easier. I've also thought about just creating multiple channels, but I'm not that great at channel management right now, and I kind of find the idea of such a small channel to split off into separate channels kind of silly. I'm not shooting down the idea entirely, and having multiple channels for specific purposes is most likely in my future. Anyways, let's get back to the subject at hand. I'd like to point out that my analysis videos won't always be in-depth. I use the term in-depth very loosely here. A lot of them might just be my subjective takes on certain ideas and concepts, and giving my 2 cents on the matter. I am by no means a professional. Another thing I'd like to say before I begin is to say I'm not a hater. I don't want to start my video analysis series without making this point very clear. For some reason, some people think that anyone who has any criticisms surrounding a form of media must automatically be someone who went into the experience to quote unquote hate on said form of media. And I'd like to nip that in the bud before this video starts off by simply saying that is entirely untrue. The reason why people like myself have criticisms for certain things and is because we care about the things we're discussing. If we didn't, we wouldn't bother putting the time and effort it takes to record, edit, and mix these videos together, which is a very tedious process. What I'm saying is that just because I or anyone else has any criticisms about something shouldn't automatically put us in the quote unquote hater box, nor should it make our opinions or viewpoints invalidated. To anyone who genuinely thinks this way, I implore you to reevaluate the situation at hand and realize that there's nothing inherently wrong about holding something up to a critical lens. You're more than welcome to love something that is flawed, and that's totally fine. However, it's not a good look to defend that flawed thing as if your life depends on it or if it is flawless. I'd actually hold you in a higher respect if you admit that the thing you love is flawed and that you like it anyways, just because of nostalgia, or maybe it's just got something about your past, or it's just something that you enjoy watching, or for whatever reason why you like that flawed thing. No one who is respectable in the analytical field will ever say you cannot like something. That's just a bizarre stance to take, and it's not something I've ever heard any of the YouTubers I watch come out and say to their audiences. As an anecdotal example, if it's not obvious about my profile picture and name, I thoroughly enjoy Green Lantern. I love the lore, I love the style, green is my favorite color, and I've loved anything I've read or experienced surrounding the Green Lantern IP. However, I totally see and understand points made against the live action film, the one with Ryan Reynolds. There's a lot of valid criticisms regarding that film, and I even have formulated my own. But I still liked the film because I'm a fan of the IP, even though I admit that the film is very flawed. I know it's flawed and saw it was flawed when I saw it in theaters. That's the point I'm trying to make. It's possible to both like something flawed and recognize something's flawed. I do not go out of my way to dislike something. It's just not something I'm interested in doing, and never have I gone into a movie theater or pulled up a movie on a streaming service with the intent to dislike something. My time is valuable, and I wouldn't waste it going into something with the intent to bash it unironically. And I'm also just one of those viewers who just cannot stand or sit back and just watch something that I find boring, or I already want to go in with a negative experience. That's just not who I am as a person. I understand there's this thing called hate watching, where people go out of their way to watch films that they think they're going to hate just to preemptively bash those films. but I'm not one of those people, as I've said before. Now, I have watched films knowing that the film might be bad just due to cult following status or a multitude of opinions I've heard about the films, such as The Room, The Last Airbender, or Troll 2, just to name a few. But I don't consider going into those movies akin to hate watching. I guess the best way to explain this is to simply say we go in to watch these films to laugh and have a good time, not to hate on them. And also, this obviously extends more than just films, but also television and video games, and other media that I'm probably going to be covering. And that's all I have to say on the matter. One last point I'd like to say is that I've never been a fan of or understood the argument that some, including a few of the reviewers I love watching, have an issue when another reviewer has a similar, if not same, viewpoint on something as if it's a clear indication of stealing or being a copycat. Truly, I don't know why this point keeps getting brought up without any evidence of these claims. I've always been of the mindset that in the realm of TV and video game critics and reviewers, that you are bound to have the same viewpoints on certain story aspects, scenes, characters, and their developments, etc. It's funny how some of the reviewers I watch say that seen others, quote unquote, obviously copying another reviewer because they have a similar viewpoint in one video, then in another video, pretty much have the same viewpoint of another reviewer I like to watch. What's even funnier is I know these reviewers know each other at least virtually and have worked together, so I don't understand why they can make that claim while also doing it themselves. Now, I'm not going to name names here and I'm not trying to bash on them, but I just want to say that the claim that one or some reviewers having the same viewpoint on the same film as a sign of stealing or being a copycat really needs to die. Without the evidence of the claim, that's all it really boils down to, a claim. I'd also like to add that I understand that there's another side of this. I understand that there are blatant copycats out there, and by that I mean people who you can tell from their word usage, from their video style, and just straight up, one for one copying. I understand that's a real thing. But what I'm saying is just because people share a similar viewpoint and then explain it, maybe similarly or even exactly like someone else does, I don't think that that necessarily is grounds to say that they're a thief or a copycat. The reason why I bring this up is because I know that if I continue down the road of reviewing or analyzing movies and shows that I will come across this at some point, and I want to nip that in the bud right here and now. It's a literal impossibility to try and do a review of a beloved film or show without having a similar or the same viewpoint as another person. This is a reason why I've held off for so long to make this kind of content, but I realize that I really want to get into this sphere, and I think that the notion that just because someone shares an opinion on something doesn't inherently mean that they're stealing or copying you. Anyways, that was a lot to say, but I wanted to make those points very clear from the beginning as to where I'm coming from and how I wish to proceed with analysis videos going forward. I hope you guys have a great day, and as always, stay wonderful.